Hi everyone, welcome to the University of Lincoln. Welcome to our offer holder day and open day. You're really lucky to join us on one of the sunniest days in Lincoln so far this year. And with me, I've got some of the best people in the world who I work with or who are alumnus at the University of Lincoln. I've got Emma Jubbs, my co-host. Emma, say hi and tell us where you are.
Good morning, everybody. I am fortunate. I'm in the Isaac Newton Building Lecture Theatre, which in a normal open day, this is exactly where we'd have the welcome. But you are fortunate to see much more of Lincoln today. So we have Ryan with us. And Ryan, where are you?
Hi, so I'm at the cathedral. It's absolutely lovely up here, as you can see. The sun's out and yeah, it's just absolutely lovely up here. That's where I am.
Thanks, Ryan. That looks brilliant. And we'll be joining Ryan for a tour of the city of Lincoln later on today in about 10 minutes time. And also with us is another alumnus who also now works with Emma and I. And he's our producer, so he's really important today. Hello, producer Darren. How are you and where are you?
Morning. I'm very good, thank you. I'm nowhere glamorous. I'm just in my home office. But where Ryan looks like now looks absolutely amazing, so I'm quite jealous. But yes, I'm here today. I'm going to be producing this, and also we'll be talking a little bit later with another alumnus, Marvin, about what to expect, what to do now, how to plan for university, how to make friends, and we'll talk a little about our Friends for Life initiative as well.
That's right. That will be at 11:05 when Darren and Marvin do a takeover and do get ready for university. And that will tell you everything you need to do and know to get ready to join us in Lincoln this September. But before then, we want you to join in with us during our broadcast this morning, don't we, Emma?
We certainly do. So we thank you to Connor and Sophie. They're already on the chat. So if you are watching on Facebook or watching on YouTube, then please get involved. Tell us where you're watching from, say hi, tell us what subject you're interested in. And we've got a whole host of people that will be here to be able to answer your questions, and we would like to answer them live today as well. So me and Ellie will pick those out as we can. So please tell us where you're from and say hi.
Exactly. And Darren, just for anyone who's not sure how to join in today, can you just give a little bit more information as to how people join in?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you're watching on Facebook, just simply put your comments, questions, or say hello in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, then do the same on YouTube. If you're watching on the website and want to get involved a little bit more, then just click on the title and that'll take you through to the YouTube stream where you can comment just as you would in a normal live YouTube video. As well as that, if you can comment the subject that you've applied for or want to apply for, then please do. And when we get to mine and Marvin's section with Friends for Life, we're going to try and pair some people up and start making friends now before Freshers Week, before you even arrive.
That's brilliant. And hello, everyone. So hello, Jack in Singapore. Hello, Rebecca from Laos. Now, I bet that's beautiful today. I bet the sun's shining there. Hello, colleague Sean Palfrey at the College of Social Science. Hello, Sky. What a beautiful name. And you're in Lowestoft, which is a beautiful place. Sam, hi. You want to know when the graduations are happening? We will be doing virtual graduations this year, and those will be in September. So there will be a communication going out next week about that. And hello, Vanessa in Worksop. Woo, thanks for joining us. It's lovely to see you. Emma, do you mind taking us through the schedule for today so everyone knows what time things will be happening?
Absolutely. So hi to everybody that's watching from Bristol to Essex and Louth and Worksop. So lovely to have you with us. So this morning we are going to have, as we've sort of said, we're going to have a bit of a welcome into the University of Lincoln and also the city. So Ryan is going to do a little outdoor broadcast this morning and take us down Steep Hill and show us a little bit and how close we are in Lincoln, just so you can envisage that. We're then going to go and meet Amina, who is our international SAB from the SU, and she's also on campus, so she can show us a bit of campus. Oh my goodness, my lights have just gone, so I need to move a little bit. Stand up and just let Ellie take over there. And then moving across to accommodation. These are like real life. Now you know it's live.
Yeah, this is what you face when you try and do a live broadcast from a massive lecture theatre. Emma's in our Isaac Newton lecture theatre, and it's huge. And normally it relies because we're really sustainable, we're really green. Our lights only come on when rooms are occupied, and if you sit still for too long, which doesn't happen normally when you've got 500 people in a room. So Emma, you are going to have trouble today.
Keep moving.
You will have to run around. And yeah, we've got Vicky doing accommodation at 10:40. We've got Andre talking to us about studying abroad at 10:50. And then 10:55, Philippa, our angel from admissions, who can help you answer all the questions about how you apply, how you get your place at the University of Lincoln. And then 11:05, Darren and Marvin's takeover. And then for any parents who are watching, there's a really important session at 11:15, isn't there, Emma?
There certainly is. And I think Gareth, who gives our parents talk, is sort of the king of all sorts of knowledge that you need to know about the university. He's worked with us for years and years and years and absolutely knows everything. So if you are a parent watching, please tune in at 11:15, ask your questions, because at 11:15, that's when the subject sessions start. So we sort of split virtually so that parents can stay with Gareth and students go and find out all about the subject.
So if you're not a parent, at 11:15 on the website, you will find on the Open Day website, which hopefully you found. And if you haven't found it, tell us and we'll tell you how to find it. Darren will put up a little message along the bottom, because Darren is a genius that tells you where that website is, and you can see that now. And you'll find all of the subject sessions listed, and you can go to a live session. So as Darren says, it's your opportunity to experience a real kind of lecture here at the University of Lincoln, but also to meet academics and meet some of the other people who will be joining us this September. Now, I'm going to say goodbye to Darren and to Ryan. Ryan will be back with you soon, but Emma and I are going to have a little chat before we do. So goodbye, Darren and Ryan, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.
See you soon.
Now, the University of Lincoln is a fantastic university, and Emma and I are both incredibly proud to work here. But Emma, it would probably be good, because this kind of virtual event is so different to the real face-to-face events that we do normally and that we're running actually every day at the moment. So Emma, I'll let you say a few words about what would normally be happening and how people can visit us physically if they want to.
Absolutely, yeah. So on a normal open day, obviously what we would expect is by now you would have walked through this atrium building, in this building, into this amazing lecture theatre, and you would be having a welcome with all the history of the University of Lincoln, where our research is, subjects, and all of those sorts of things. That, unfortunately, you can't sit with your coffee that we would provide today. You've got to have your own coffee and croissant, but we will tell you all of that information virtually today. The other things that we sort of obviously would normally show you around is the campus, and it's the most beautiful campus. And on a day like today, I'm pained to think that I'm here and you're not. But what we are doing is offering one-to-one tours. Thankfully, on the 12th of April, we had a bit of lifting in the roadmap, and it meant that we can offer one-to-one tours. So you can register for a one-to-one tour, and we want to show you the campus. So Monday to Friday, we are offering one-to-one tours. So you can come with one other member of your family, and one of our brilliant experts in the team and academics can show you around the campus and talk more about the subject that you're interested in.
Thanks, Emma. And for those of you who can't make it here at the moment, we've got Amina from the Students' Union who will be showing us some of our fabulous campus. And you might get to see some of the swans and some of the otters and some of the amazing Muscovy ducks that we share our campus with. We are in the heart of one of the most beautiful areas in the world. I'm going to move over, and you can probably see behind me the castle, and you might be able to see the cathedral there. So that's about a 10-15 minute walk. And right next to me here is the Brayford, which is a really beautiful area, a natural beauty, but we're really unique because we're a campus university. So everything's on campus, you can live on campus, everything's right here, but we're right in the heart of the city. And that is probably a really good moment for us to join Ryan, our alumnus, who, if you joined us at the start, you will have seen Ryan is up at the cathedral, which you can see there. So Ryan's not far from me. And I'm hoping Darren is going to bring Ryan onto the screen and make him, yes. So here we are. Ryan, let's have a look at the castle.
What was that? Sorry, Ellie.
Let's have a look at the castle, Ryan. Can you show us the castle?
Yeah, so it's really nice in Lincoln today. There's sort of a market happening right now, as you can see behind me. But I will turn around now and we can just have a quick look at the castle. So hopefully you can see that behind me there. Yeah, and it just looks so lovely on a day like today when the sun's out in Lincoln. And it's
Can you
got
give
a
us
really nice atmosphere up here.
So if you give us a twirl, Ryan, if you can, and show us the whole of that area so you can see the cathedral. And I'm going to share a little bit about the history of Lincoln. So Lincoln is beautiful. There's no other way of putting it. It's a bit like Middle Earth. It's a bit like Diagon Alley. If you love Harry Potter, there's Steep Hill, the steepest street in the country. And the cathedral was built in 1072. Likewise, the castle is a Norman castle that was built in the 11th century. And the cathedral's claim to fame is it used to be the tallest building in the world, taller even than the pyramids at Giza. And it was the tallest building for a long, long time, right through to 1548. And the reason it was so tall was because the bits of the cathedral that you could see had additional spires of the same height all over again on top of them. And it was in 1548 that there was a dreadful thunder and lightning storm, and the wooden spires, which was what the higher spires were made of, caught fire because they were struck by lightning, and they fell down and they were never rebuilt. But for those of us who live in the city, Lincoln Cathedral is very important, isn't it, Emma?
It certainly is. Yeah, it really is. It's and this area that Ryan is in at the moment is renowned to be called the Belgate area. And there are amazing sort of shops and cafes up there, and really sort of little individual boutiques as well. So if you like a bit of shopping, whether it's sort of knickknacks to sort of designer wear, this is your area. And as Ryan walks down Steep Hill, there are also some amazing little sort of restaurants like Brown's Pie Shop that is just sort of walking past, and little tea rooms. So there's Bell's Tea Room there, and there's some other little tea rooms that as you walk down. So there's always somewhere to stop if you're walking up the hill for a little bit of refreshment. And as we ease out of lockdown, then there are, we can enjoy these sort of amazing places a little bit more, but there's lots of individuality up here. There's sort of a tea room that sells tea and wine shops and all sorts of things as we move down. So yeah, it is an amazing place. I absolutely love it. It's
one of the things that you will have noticed is how many sort of social places there are, and partly that's because Lincoln is quite a small city. There's 94,000 population. So it's very small, very safe, very lovely place to live. But 1 in 5 people in Lincoln is a student. So it's really student orientated and really student focused. So for example, the cathedral that we saw, that's where you graduate if you're a student. And the castle, that's where we have our graduation celebration in normal years where we don't have COVID. But when Ryan reaches the lamppost that he's headed for, I'm going to ask Ryan, if he can hear me, what it's like to be a student in Lincoln. So Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Ellie. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I had an absolutely amazing experience studying here. I studied my undergraduate on media production. I absolutely loved my time studying here, and then I went on to also study my MA as well in media, film and television. And so yeah, I absolutely loved my time just met some incredible people. The lecturers are amazing, the facilities are amazing, and I just had an absolutely brilliant time, to be honest. And as you can see, I'm sort of halfway down Steep Hill now, and it's just absolutely lovely. And you can just see probably just over there, that's where the campus and where we'll be heading to take you in a short while.
That's fabulous. Let's head on to the campus then. That sounds brilliant. There's something called the Christmas market that happens the first weekend of December normally, and that's when around about 250,000 people come to Lincoln for that Christmas market. And because we have the medieval palace where we have the medieval market, it's very unique. So any mums and dads who are watching, do put that first weekend in December in your diary, because in a normal year, subject to government guidance around COVID, obviously, that is so worth visiting, isn't it, Emma?
It certainly is. It's one of my favourite times of the year, actually. It's near my birthday, so it's always sort of like nice to go and get some mulled wine and lots of food and walk around there. And it's incredible, the sort of the tourism. And as a parent, again, if you're a parent watching, it's always sort of a weekend where lots of parents come because they can legitimately come and visit their son or daughter with that as their excuse to come. There's lots of people chatting on the chat. Sorry,
exactly. I was going to say the same thing, Emma. We are so in synchronicity.
Lots of people are sort of cementing the reasons that we say Lincoln is great. So thank you ever so much, Emily Williams, for sort of saying that. And also there's a few questions that I noticed, and we've just walked past Vine's Bakery, Kirsty, and I absolutely agree. It's an incredible shop, that is. I've only just discovered that. And a few people have asked about how you can get your campus tours. So please go on to either go onto our website and register, or please just email inquiries@lincoln.ac.uk and we will get back to you. So whichever way you want to get a campus tour, we can capture that, or even send a message on Facebook or some sort of social media and we can pick that up. But we want you to come and visit safely.
And there's quite a few people who are coming to study medicine. So Emily, AK, Simon, I think Vanessa as well. I think you've probably already formed a little group, and Emma Meek is doing psychology. So if anyone else is doing psychology, do post in the chat so we can say hi and try and link you up with some other people well in advance. Hopefully you're getting a sense, watching Ryan walking down the street, of how much there is going on in Lincoln constantly. You saw the market at the top, and you always find some amazing food at the market. Lincoln is the sort of the garden, the larder of England. We are a massive county and so you always get really good food in Lincoln. It's a wonderful place to. I know that there will be an ostrich burger there, and I know that there will be lots of vegan burgers, and I know that there will be lots of opportunities to taste and eat things that are fabulous. And normally on an open day on campus, we do have lots of food here as well, don't we, Emma?
We do. We often have pancakes and bacon and vegan rolls as you arrive. And I think we'd sort of mentioned about the Danish pastries and things. So, yeah, we do like to feed you well in Lincolnshire. I think it is fair to say that. And as Ryan has just come past, you've seen sort of some of my favourite places, actually. You know, I love Pizza Express, and there's a nice outdoor area there, and some of my lovely shops. I love Agatha and I love Daniela Draper, which is a jewellery shop. So there is, and we've got TGI Fridays that Ryan's has just come past that is about to open at some point. Thank you, Ryan. It's opening very soon, so that's a new addition. So it's a real mix of sort of commercial chains, obviously, and also those very individual sort of restaurants and bars and things like that. So now Ryan is walking down to more of this sort of shopping, more commercial sort of shopping area. So I'm
hoping to see whether there's a queue at Primark, actually.
Oh, I was going to say that, actually. I was going to say, well, I bet where you're sat, Ellie, on campus, you can almost see the Primark queue because that is how close we are to the centre of Lincoln.
It is. I'm surprised, Deb. Oh no, that's House of Fraser, isn't it? I always get those mixed up. But it's a really wonderful place, and it's all very open. There's lots of space in Lincoln, and our campus is the same, which you'll see when we get onto our campus in a minute. There's lots of space, and I hope you're getting a sense for how close everything is. Just off to Ryan's left there is the train station. Well, it's a bit further down and left, but it's a 5-10 minute walk from the campus. So if you're trying to get home or get into London or wherever, it's really easy to get to the train station and get anywhere. So the key thing is you don't need a car, you don't really need anything. You don't need buses late at night. You don't need to worry, really. When you're in Lincoln, it's so easy to get around. You don't even need a bicycle. Now, Ryan stopped in front of one of my favourite places in Lincoln. It's the Stone Bow. Henry VIII stayed here. You can go and have a tour on a Saturday, or I think it's a Tuesday, and it really is a really beautiful, unique place. So for all those people who have put in the chat that they're doing history, Lincoln is full of history. We've got the Magna Carta, one of the 4 surviving copies. We've got the Charter of the Forest. It used to be a Roman retirement village, so there's all sorts of Roman ruins just about everywhere you go. And this is another beautiful example of I think this one's medieval, but I'm getting outside of my comfort zone with history. So thank you for turning around, and we can see the Primark queue.
I was going to say the Primark. So it's from the old. It is absolutely forged with old and new Lincoln. There is absolutely no doubt about that. So we've got the very real Primark queue along with the medieval stone bow. I think that's pretty much sums up Lincoln, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got Jedi who says, this is a really interesting question. He's unsure whether to take history or media studies. And I think that's interesting because Ryan did a media degree and then did a media master's as well. And obviously history is at the heart of Lincoln. You know, you will have got that, and looking around. And we're about to come to the front of Stokes Cafe, which you can just see behind Ryan, I think, there. And Stokes Coffee Shop is 120 years old, and you can see it's absolutely beautiful, and they've been serving coffee for 120 years. It is some of the best coffee in the country, I have to say, and it's the most beautiful building. And I'm going to ask Ryan to go down the glory hole, which is just to the side of Stokes Cafe there. He's going to show us the Brayford running behind him. Sorry, Ryan, I'm rubbish at this.
These steps are quite steep, so we will have to bear with Ryan to actually look down as he goes down to the water front there. But this is the glory hole, which leads us straight to campus almost. So this is how close we're actually going. Ryan is walking to the university campus here.
I'm just going to answer Vanessa's question. Vanessa says she's apprehensive about accommodation. And what would you say to someone with anxiety about leaving home, yet who wants to explore Lincoln? Vanessa, I would say that every other potential student feels just like you. Every potential student is really worried about leaving home, coming away. One of the things we do at Lincoln is called a WOW summer school. So if you are anxious, you can request and register to come to the summer school. It means you spend a couple of days in the accommodation and you get to try being a student, which is quite fun to do. And I'm going to ask Emma if you know how to register for those, Emma.
Yeah, so if you also, Vanessa, another sort of point, which I'm sure Vicky will talk about when we go and visit the accommodation, but we also have resident wardens who are, thank you. That's why we have the amazing Ryan, because he can send us that how to register for that. But resident wardens are sort of a key part of our accommodation, and they're often sort of master's students that go around and help. So they can knock on your door or sort of just check in on you if you're feeling a bit anxious, or just have somebody just to chat to. But they are an amazing asset to us. And so, you know, as Ellie said, I can assure you that everybody that walks through that first day into accommodation is also feeling slightly anxious as well. And good parts and good examples are, you know, keep your door open, let people chat, because everybody will be feeling exactly the same.
You're a star, Emma, and this, Ryan, is a brilliant place to stop. Ryan, tell us where you are.
Yeah, thank you, Ellie. So now I'm on the Brayford waterfront, and as you can see, it's just absolutely stunning. Over to that side, sorry. There's so many bars and restaurants. You've got the Odeon, which is there. You've got loads of sort of pubs, like I say, restaurants where you can go and eat with your friends. And then obviously just over to, sorry, where's it gone? This side here. So this is where the university campus is. So the Minerva building, you can see just there. That's our main building here at the university. But then you can also see a bit further along here, you'll be able to see the Students' Union, as well as the library. And it's just an incredible place really for a university to be situated.
It is really incredible. And I'm in the Minerva building, so you can see the building I'm in. You can sort of see the building Emma's in. It's on the other side. And that is probably a really good point or a really good part for us to say goodbye to Ryan. Ryan, before you go, tell us what's a really good thing to do in Lincoln as a student?
Oh, there's so many nice things really. I would probably say sort of having a walk up to the cathedral where we've just been. Obviously you talked about the Christmas market, which is amazing. There's just so many things to do really with your friends, and just have an amazing time really.
I thought you might mention Quack Night, but we'll pick that up with the sorry, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah,
thank you
so much.
Yeah,
you've been amazing. We'll see you in the office in a minute, Ryan.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
So it's back to me and Emma, and we're about to meet Amina from the Students' Union. And Amina is fabulous. She's been a sabbatical at the Students' Union for this year. So hello, Amina. How are you?
Hi, Ellie and Emma. I'm doing good. How are you all today?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, isn't it, Emma?
It is. I love the sun, but it just, the campus and the city just looks amazing on a sunny day. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here today.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's so busy and there's so much going on. Although I saw it last night, Amina, outside the Students' Union. I know you've put in place all that wonderful space and all those wonderful seats, but it looked really busy.
Yeah, it's been busy since Monday. I think everyone is just excited to go out, have a drink, have some meals. It's something that everyone has been missing for quite some time. So it's been really, really busy this week. And I'm guessing with the weather looking really good today, we should be expecting numbers of students coming around.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I'm going to ask Darren to make Amina full screen because Amina, I think you're going to give us a bit of a tour, aren't you?
Yes,
But before, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, what the SU is, and sort of why you got involved, and then we'll do the tour.
Wonderful. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know what exactly a Students' Union is here in Lincoln. It's an independent organization separate from the university, but has a really good partnership with the university to try and support and make students experience better when they arrive in Lincoln. So take the SU as the part of where you get like all the fun stuff when you come to uni. The SU is there to support you by getting involved, doing volunteering activities, sports societies, obviously, which I'll probably talk about later along the line. And all the fun stuff and supportive stuff. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, you do. And actually, let's do the tour, Amina. Let's have a look round. Because it's so exciting. So you take us and talk us through it, Amina.
Okay, so this is me leaving the SU office. On a normal day, you would have us in the office, sat around here, which we haven't really experienced. But basically, in my role, I'm one of 5 student leaders, and I'm the Vice President International. Basically means I'm repping, which we have over 1,000 of them at Lincoln. And we have the Vice President Education, we have Vice President Wellbeing and Community, we have Vice President Campaigns and Environment, and we have a Vice President for Activities.
This is true.
Yeah.
And there are some really exciting activities booked in, aren't there? I'm aware of quite a lot going on actually for freshers already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have lots and lots of exciting activities, from bands to comedians. Russell, are we going to go through the Russells
Oh
today?
yes, I never know which Russell it is, but I know we had a Russell last year, and I know we've got a Russell this year. And yesterday we had a conversation about another Russell who might be coming this year, but that's top secret. But it's enough to say there may be more than one Russell here this year.
So here I am in what we call Towers, as you can see. It's a sports bar, which is right on campus. And if you are in Lincoln as a student, anytime you are either in the library or you're done with lectures, it's a really good place to hang out with your friends, grab a drink, grab a meal, and just chillax.
And you're going to be showing all the Euros this year, aren't you? Which I know Emma's very excited about.
Yeah, so this is me just right outside the Students' Union.
Wow.
Which is Towers, the bar that I just came out from. We have some benches outside. Basically, at the moment, if you want a place to sit outside, we have lots of benches this way. And they look really beautiful when you.
They have definitely. If you, I think we've just lost a bit of connectivity with Amina at the moment. But what I'd advise you to do is have a look on the Lincoln SU social media, and you'll see. Actually, this week it's just transformed. Each of those benches each day have been full with people drinking, eating, socialising, doing the things that we've unfortunately not been able to do this year. So, we've got it back. Amazing. So we've got more benches, and this is outside.
Socially distanced benches, though, Emma.
Oh, of course. That goes without saying. Absolutely.
And there's the library. The library is amazing. Up till this point, the library has been packed, and our library is open 24/7 at key points in the year. Now, Amina, I don't know if you can hear me. We lost you for a minute there.
Yeah, I think the network glitched a bit, and I was like, "Ooh, this is what happens when you're live."
We've had lots of
Emma will be in the darkness.
I was going to say, any minute now, I'm going into darkness again.
It's really nice and sunny out here. So I'm just sat on one of the benches, which is in between the Student Union and the library.
Yay. And you might have told us before, Amina, when we lost you, but we didn't hear about the engine shed, which I think is really important.
Yeah, I think I'm sat exactly not too far from the engine shed, if you can spot that behind me.
Yeah.
So basically, the engine shed is our biggest event center on campus, which hosts the famous Quack event, which Ellie mentioned earlier on. So we do have Quack, which is something that every student loves to attend. And yeah, the engine shed is quite massive, has hosted lots of events. Last freshers, we had big quizzes, bingos, and so many events that you can just name. We even had Russell. I know I mentioned that the Russells, we have about 3 Russells. Sometimes me and Ellie get really confused as to which Russell it is.
They're comedians. For anyone, it's either Russell Kane or Russell.
You've got your own little comedian show going here.
Yeah, we don't need any Russells for our comedy, do we, Amina? We can do it ourselves.
Yeah, we could. And just so I just say much about what the student union does as well. We also have an advice center. So if you're a student seeking information or advice on housing, finance, welfare, academic support, you can definitely speak to someone in our advice center. And we do have cycle hire. Basically, we have new bikes that you can come rent for a period of time whilst you're on campus, so you can discover Lincoln, and we can help you discover Lincoln together as well.
And there are some lovely otters. I have to mention the otters because if Bailey was here, who works with Amina, whose welfare and campaign, she would want to mention there are some otters who live just along from where Amina is now, and they're so cute, aren't they?
I know. I think the authors loves Bailey alone because mostly it's when she's doing live events is when the authors are around.
I know they don't come out for us. I think we're too noisy, aren't we, Emma?
I think perhaps, yeah, the wildlife perhaps get a bit frightened with me and you, Ellie, yeah.
Now, there are a lot of questions, Amina, about people who are a little bit nervous about leaving home, about should they come and live on campus? Is it better to live at home? What's your advice, Amina? What would you say?
I think that coming to live on campus is a really great way of meeting other students because obviously you meet students who have also the same feeling of not wanting to leave home. But basically, if you are here with sports, societies, student groups that we have, will be a great way of meeting other students as well. Volunteering opportunities that you can get involved in, getting involved with all the activities that the SC offers alongside the university is a really good way for you to not feel alone and lonely. And we've had new students this year who have done incredibly amazing by joining all of these student groups. They've been able to meet other students. I know when we organize walking tours, I, for one, went with a group of students who didn't really know each other. And when I was doing the second round of the walking tour, I found them at the Swan having a beer. And I'm like, you see, so that was incredibly amazing on their side, and like the support that we offered for them to be able to like explore the community. So if you're a student and you're lonely, do not be lonely. As Emma mentioned earlier, we have residential wardens on campus. The student union is also here to ensure that your experience while you're here keeps getting better and better.
And we've got a couple of questions which are really interesting. Anna Lawrence says, is the library really open 24/7? Can I study there at 3 a.m.? Ha ha ha. Anna, yes, at key times of the year, the library is there and you will be there at 3 a.m. if not 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. Is that true, Amina?
Yes, the library opens 24/7, but for some time now we haven't opened 24/7, but I understand we are getting back to opening 24/7. And yes, I was part of the students who usually goes to the library from 10 p.m. and leaves there at 5 a.m. because that's probably the time that I enjoy being at the library. So 24/7 is an absolute truth about the library, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the library at 3 a.m.
And Cassie May says, if you live in student accommodation and there's a problem, is there someone around 24/7 to go to? We have an amazing security team here. We have amazing residential wardens. So in short, the answer is yes, really. But Amina and Emma, I'll ask you, Amina, and then I'll ask you, Emma. Amina, you go first.
Yes, like you mentioned, the security team are available 24/7, and the security will connect you to the residential warden team, so you don't need to be worried about that. I actually was a residential warden before, and we know students used to get through security to be able to get to like the residential warden when it's probably out of hours. Just be assured that the support that you want, you would get it when it comes to getting in touch with 24/7 security.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
And
Emma.
Just to add to that, sort of a little bit wider, obviously our amazing wellbeing team, we've talked about them already very much, but they are here today. So they are, whilst you can't necessarily ask them questions on YouTube or Facebook, if you open the lincoln.ac.uk tab on your phone or on your tablet, then slide or like chat where it says chat with. If you scroll down, then they are there and they're here until 12 o'clock and beyond in order to answer any questions that you have. And they will do that very confidentially and on a very individual basis, because everybody will have something different. But there is absolutely, please be assured that the university does support your students. You are absolutely at the heart of everything that we do here.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention the LPAC, which is there. The LPAC is a theatre. It's a 450-seater theatre. It's where the students prepare and do their Christmas shows. They do all sorts of shows throughout the year, and we're talking to them at the moment about doing some other shows. Yeah, they prepare the Edinburgh Fringe performances there. When we go every year with students go to the Edinburgh Fringe. So there's all sorts going on. And just there to the left of the LPAC, you can see the building that Emma's in behind the teepee. Emma, that's you.
It is. I am sat in and out of darkness in the large lecture theatre in that building. And this building houses our engineering, our maths, our physics. We've got an anatomy lab in here, which will move to our amazing medical school. But yes, that is where I am.
Yeah, I'm going to answer a couple of questions if that's right. Stay with me, Amina, because the first question says, I'm a bit concerned at the amount of physical marketing I've been sent, and this worries me since I feel the uni may not have the environmental stance that others are having. What are your thoughts? Now, Blue, the main thing you should have received is you should have had our beautiful prospectus. And if you haven't got our beautiful prospectus and you'd like one, let us know. We do a mini version, which is very environmentally friendly, and those are the ones that we send out as standard. But if you're seriously thinking about coming to Lincoln, the prospectus is really worth having. The other thing that offer holders will have received is a hoodie. So we do the hoodie because we send everyone what we call a hug in a box, or a hug through the post, basically, so you know you're part of our one community here at Lincoln. And one community at Lincoln is really important. We support each other, we stand up for each other, we don't tolerate any kind of hate, and I think that's really important. And in terms of environmental focus, we were one of the first to have a climate change conference. We worked really closely with Chris Packham, petitioning for the environment. And Amina, I'll let you say a few words on behalf of the students.
So as I mentioned earlier, that one of the student leaders is actually a vice president campaigns and environment, which is Bailey. Bailey has been absolutely passionate. I mean, she's passionate about environment and sustainability. She's actually created an eco model, which is on the Students' Union website. So as a student here, you are able to get that model, go through so many models regarding how to be sustainable. I didn't know so much about recycling and how important it is to the environment, but being a student here and being part of the Students' Union gave me the opportunity to be able to learn all of that. So one thing for sure about University of Lincoln is how they are passionate about sustainability. So you have absolutely nothing to be worried about. And of course, if it's something that you are really interested and passionate about, just get involved with the Students' Union, and would help you with any amazing and fantastic ideas you have regarding this.
Thank you, Amina. Amina, you've been brilliant. Emma, I've unleashed a load of hoodie questions.
So I see.
Do you want to try and answer the hoodie questions? When will people receive their hoodie,
Right.
Emma?
So you receive a hoodie. So the people that have received the hoodie are the students that have firmed with us. So those students are, or those applicants are the people that have already decided and made the decision that Lincoln is right for them. And as soon as you do that, then we send you a hoodie in the post. If you need, unfortunately, we have a one size hoodie. So it might be that if you haven't received your hoodie, then you will be getting it as soon as you firm with us. And if you have got it to a wrong address, which I think I've sort of quickly read, then please just email us enquiries@lincoln.ac.uk and we can send it to the right address, Kirsty. We can do larger sizes. We can't necessarily do smaller sizes. So please just email us and we'll do our utmost to make sure that we get it sorted for you.
And just as a warning, I requested the very largest size because I don't like too small, and it's absolutely huge. So don't go for the really large size. But on that, we're going to say goodbye to Amina. Amina, you look fantastic out there in the sunshine.
It's really nice out here, and I don't know. I've just been admiring our student groups that we have here, who are actually having a really, really great time in the sun. So, lots of exciting opportunities and things you can get involved in once you are here. And thank you so much for having me.
What are they doing, Amina? It looks like they're doing a play.
Yeah. Do you want me to get closer?
Well, don't worry, because, have we got time to go closer? We're late already. Let's go and say hi.
We need to go to accommodation, Ellie, I think, now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amina. Find out and tell us later, but it looks good fun. So we'll see you later, Amina. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you. Take care. And let's say hi to Vicky in accommodation.
Hi.
Hi, Vicky. Where are you? Can you tell us where you are? Because I think certainly in the chat, people want to see a room. So tell us where you are and give us a little bit of a guided tour as to where you are.
So I'm currently sat in the brand new accommodation for this year. And I'm currently sat in the kitchen living space, and then I'll give you a quick tour of the bedroom shortly. But just to let you know, if you've got any questions, please do pop them in the Slido chat. We've got Kai who's going to be answering them to get as many questions answered as possible. So just a little quick one before I take you around the accommodation that I am currently in. We do have a variety of accommodation for all students to meet all budgets in a variety of locations. So we will have something that does suit your needs. We've got, if you need stable access, if you need whatever you need, we can provide. So we try to allocate you on your preferences. We can pop you with your friends, and we try to allocate you on the year that you are in as well. So one of the key points about where I am now is the bursary for St Mark's, which is for the postgraduate students. So if you'd like any more information on that, please do head to our website. So just a quick one. So we have Lincoln Courts, which is on-campus accommodation between 5 to 8 bedrooms, very close to the centre and very popular as well. Then next door we have Signet Wharf, which is our modern accommodation, quite high-rise, some great views from the top floor apartments. Slightly larger apartments between 5 and 12 people, but again, very close to the centre of campus.
Now, Vicky, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're not hearing you very well. So rather than describe, because people can go on the website and see all of that, can you give us a walk around the accommodation and show us the whole area?
Yeah, of course. So I'm currently in St Mark's, and behind me, you'll be able to see the large sofa area and TV. Great space for socialising with your flatmates. And as you can see, to my left, you've got the table, a great place for games nights, preparing meals, etc. like that. And then as you come around, you've got the large kitchen space. So as you can see, plenty of space to prepare food. You've got 2 fridges, 2 ovens, and plenty of sink space as well, all to prepare your food. And then you have got 2 microwaves and recycling facilities here. Again, with the sustainability, we have the bins to go with what we're trying to do. And then I'll take you through to a bedroom.
Brilliant.
Thank you. I think lots of people want to see a bedroom so that they can see where they will actually be sort of living. So this is really useful, Vicky. Thank you.
So in this one that I'm in now, as you come straight through the door, you can see the ensuite bathroom. So you've got a nice big shower, the sink and the toilet. So plenty of room there. And then you've got a nice full-length mirror as you come out the bathroom with a plug socket. For girls, I love it for hair straighteners, but I know it's great for everything as well. And then as we come further back into the room, you have got, in this accommodation, you've got a 3/4 bed with plenty of storage opportunities. So you've got above bed, and you've even got below storage for suitcases or any extra items that you do bring with you. And then we have the desk. So this desk has got 3 nice big drawers. Some of the drawers vary in the accommodation, but this one has 8 nice big drawers. And then we have the overhead accommodation for your books, whatever you need. It's great for just a place to put things so it's not adding clutter. And then you've got your wardrobe, a nice double wardrobe, and again, overhead storage for whatever needs. Plenty of storage in this accommodation, which I personally love because I took too much stuff with me for university and didn't have enough room to put it up.
And the good news is we do have lots and lots of accommodation at Lincoln, because historically we didn't have lots of accommodation. We've invested around about £350 million over the last 10 years in our campus, and part of that has been building lots and lots of new accommodation. So you don't need to list it, Vicky, because it's all on the website and people can go and look at it. But is there an accommodation guarantee, Vicky?
Yes, so we do try to give all first year students accommodation as long as they apply by the 1st of September. So when you apply for accommodation, you get 4 choices in order of preference, and you will get allocated one of your choices as a first year student.
Fabulous. That's good to know, and good reassurance. And can you just explain, obviously lots of people are watching today and they're either already applicants or they are considering for next year. So what is the process of applying to accommodation, and where do they go?
So once you have received your offer from the university, you just need to go to our website and you'll find the link of how to apply for accommodation under the accommodation tab. Once you've done that, you create an account and then you pick your accommodation in order of your preference. So once you have done that, the application then comes through to us. And once we have got that application, we will send you an offer. We are currently sending offers out at the moment, so you will be getting them as soon as we are able to. And yeah, just like that. And then once you get your offer, you just need to accept it if you're happy with it, and just put down a £49 payment, which comes off the first instalment of rent.
So like a deposit.
Yeah, there's lots of accommodation. It's all within 10 minutes walk of everything. So wherever you live, I mean, an awful lot of our accommodation is on campus. But in addition, anything that's not on campus, you're literally talking just a really short space away. And again, because we're unique, we're a campus university in the heart of a city, you can literally walk anywhere in the city as well within about 10 minutes, whether that be the train station or the cathedral. So it is very safe. You don't need a car. You don't even need a bike necessarily, Vicky, do you?
No, it's really close. 179 is literally on the doorstep of the high street. You walk out the door and you are there. And other accommodations, Valentine Court is right next to Valentine Retail Park. Again, really close to Morrison's. There is, wherever you end up, there is something really close by, which is really helpful.
There's a couple of questions. Sorry.
No, you go, Emma. Sorry.
I've just spotted Amy's question, Amy Sharp. Will we get any ideas of who we're living with before we arrive? Because obviously, there'll be a few people that have already made their decision. They know, where they want to live. So can you, those people are a little bit further down the line. Will they know who they're living with before they arrive? And what would you advise, Vicky?
So due to GDPR, we actually can't give out who you will be living with. But closer to the time, once you get your room allocation, we'll send you a link to Facebook groups, and you'll be able to go to the Facebook group for that accommodation, and you'll be able to find out who you will be living with that way. It's just we can't actually give you that information, but you will have the opportunity to find out.
And I think that's all people need to know, the opportunity via social media in a closed, safe Facebook group. Then people can sort of discuss how many wooden spoons to bring. Do you suggest?
Yeah.
Ellie, sorry.
No, that sounds fabulous. My last question for Amy before we say goodbye is, Amy, what's your favourite thing to do in and around Lincoln as someone who knows the city?
So I personally love how close everything is. I've lived in all different places across the city, and everything is no more than a 10-15 minute walk, and I just love it. And I love how vibrant it's become, especially as it's become more of a student city. So it's definitely a place for opportunities and just a way to get on with life. And it's a very student city now, which I personally love. Even though I've graduated, I just love it anyway.
Just about everyone here is an alumnus, really, aren't they, Vicky? But thank you so much. It's been lovely to see you, Vicky, and that was a brilliant tour, and that does look such an inviting room. It does look really nice. So thank you for showing us. We're going to say goodbye, aren't we, Emma? Because I think you're going to introduce us to someone new.
I certainly am. And just to reassure everybody, there are Kai and the experts are answering your questions as we go along, so they will pick up all of your questions, because we probably didn't have an awful lot of time with Vicky to answer those. Now we are going across to meet Philippa. And Philippa is our...
I don't think we are, Emma. I don't think we are.
Andre,
Andre, you missed out, Andre. That's dreadful.
Andre.
Hello.
So sorry.
Hello, Andre. How could she forget you? You're my favourite.
Sorry.
I'd never forget you, Andre.
Right.
Go on, Emma.
So, Andre, you are going to tell us for sort of 5 minutes or so about the opportunities that you've had and any other student at the University of Lincoln can have to study abroad. So tell us what you're studying first, and then tell us a little bit about your experience.
Right. So I'm studying psychology with clinical psychology with study abroad at the moment. And last year I was doing my study abroad year at the University of Padua, which is in the Veneto region, and it's very close to Venice. So it was a wonderful experience.
Wow. Wow, Venice is amazing, but it's so expensive, isn't it? Last time I went to Venice, I got a beer and it was 25, is it euros, just for a beer? I was like, oh my gosh.
See, that's the benefit of living close to Venice, because you only take the train's about 10 minutes, and then you just go back to Padua, which is really student-friendly, very cheap. So it's very, very good to be a student there.
Words.
Yes.
So how did that come about? How did you apply? Who supported you at the university? Because I would guess there's lots of people watching that think, right, I want to be a student, but I want the best experience possible. But how do I go about it?
Well, we're very lucky to have a wonderful department at the university, which is called Global Opportunities. And those are people who focus solely on providing study abroad and work abroad and volunteer abroad opportunities to the students. And so for me, our academics were giving talks about studying abroad, and I found that really interesting. And so I just got in touch with our academics, and they connected with Global Opportunities. And there are actually so many opportunities that you can sort of take part in. You can study abroad, you can spend up to 12 months abroad, you can actually work abroad. So you can get an internship at a university abroad where you can work in research or in labs, depending on what you're interested in. And you actually get support, you get financial support from the university, and you also get the support of Global Opportunities. So they're always there if you need anything.
That sounds brilliant, doesn't it? I don't know about you. I really want to go, Emma.
I do. I think it's incredible. It's such an incredible opportunity. And I can see that the team from Global Opportunities are here on YouTube today, so they can answer any questions that people have. And I also know that they help, and no matter what opportunity, they will seek other opportunities for you. If there is an opportunity to study and there's a country that's sort of out of any agreement that we've got, they will explore it. They're looking at all sorts of opportunities.
Right. And a part of their work is actually looking for those other opportunities, so they have access to other funding resources. So wherever you want to go, they're going to try to find something for you, which is absolutely brilliant.
I've noticed that a couple of people are calling for justice for Andre now, Emma, and Andre seems to be establishing his own fan base. So
well deserved, Andre. Well deserved, is what I'd say.
Yes, there's a lot of questions about what will happen with regard to COVID and whether or not these opportunities will take place. Obviously, it's subject to government guidance. It's subject to opportunity. We are hoping, and I was talking to the director of Global Opportunities yesterday, and he's doing everything he can to maximise opportunities for students. But Andre, is there anything you would say about that?
Well, actually, my second semester that I spent at the university was already in the pandemic, so I was studying from home. And I would say that given the support we have, everyone can be absolutely confident that they're going to get the best out of the experience. So it might be that some students will maybe start in the distance learning mode. They might be able to actually go there. It really will depend on the situation. But this basically opened up a new field for us. So we're now offering virtual opportunities as well. So not being able to travel at this moment does not mean that you're going to miss out on international opportunities.
And Andre, our very last question for you. Have you enjoyed being a student at Lincoln?
Oh, I absolutely love it. But I think everything's been said. Everything's close, everything's cheap, everyone's friendly, and Lincoln's just a place to be, I would say.
Oh, you're brilliant. You're brilliant. Emma, take us to our next interviewee.
Thank you so much, Andre, and I will never miss you out.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Our next interviewee is Philippa, as she's already been bigged up. Sorry, Philippa.
You always put me off guard there. I was like, oh,
going to say, keep you on your toes. Now, Philippa, you are sort of our admissions manager, really, at the university. So anything regarding your application process, Philippa is the place to be. So please throw in any questions that you have about application process, about any qualifications that you're doing, or if you have already an ongoing application with us. So Philippa, first question, if we have people watching today that are still considering whether they want to apply for 2021, is it too late or can they still apply?
Oh no, absolutely. It's not too late. We're still open for new applications for the majority of our courses. So please check our website and obviously the UCAS website for our available courses. There's just a small number of courses that we've closed, and they're mainly our healthcare program. Well, they are our healthcare programs because they're very popular. But everything else is open still to apply to.
That's amazing. Thank you. And for our students this year, I understand that we have, we're very, very mindful of the year that we've all gone through. And certainly if you are sort of in year sort of 13 or a second year of BTEC or something like that, we're very mindful of that. So we are being quite flexible with our admissions. Do you want to just sort of explain briefly, what that means to an applicant at Lincoln?
Yeah, so recently we've introduced our flexible admissions process or policy, if you like. So for any applicants that are made an offer from us, if their results are within 16 UCAS points of the offer that they're made when they get the results in the summer, they'll be guaranteed a place with us. So that's the first part of our flexible admissions policy or process, if you like. And the other part of that as well is that we've added in there that is if you are within 16 points of your predicted grades, then you'll also be guaranteed a place. So I know that there will be some applicants out there who have already got an offer, who are already know that they're within 16 points with their predicted grades. So that's a little bit of a cushion and a bit of reassurance for them coming into the summer, because we appreciate that it's really uncertain times for applicants at the moment, which is why we have done that.
There is a question from Amy. Sorry, I can see Ellie. I'll let you come in, Ellie, in a second. Sorry. I can see there's a question from Amy about, does the flexible admissions process work with nursing students too? And I know I've pulled that out because I know there's a lot of people sort of watching that are interested in nursing today. So
yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't include our nursing programs or our healthcare programs. And the reason for that is that they are very competitive. So unfortunately, we can't apply that flexible admissions process to nursing or medical students either. So unfortunately, it doesn't apply to those applicants that are applying to us.
That's fabulous. But we've got a really good sort of application process for our nurses, nursing students, haven't we? And if you've got any individual sort of questions around your application, then we are here, and the email is scrolling along the bottom as we speak.
I was just going to say that Philippa and the team are absolutely amazing. When my stepson applied, I couldn't have been more grateful for the help and support that they gave, which was absolutely complete across everything from the application form to understanding the finance. And you were just so amazing, and he would never have got anywhere without your help. So I'm really grateful. So all I'd say, if anyone's got questions or you're worried or you need help, please contact Philippa and the team. They're absolute stars, so supportive, so kind. I'm really grateful. Philippa, what top tips would you give before we leave you?
Top tips for applying, just obviously do your research and really look at university websites and read up on the course that you want to study. And I think more importantly, from probably my perspective is, or equally as important, is look at the campus that you're looking at. Obviously, these sort of events are going on across the country for all universities. So please take advantage of, coming online, revisit these type of events. They're very accessible at the moment. So it's really important that you get a feel for where you're going to be living as well as where you're going to be studying. I think that's really important. And I think that would be one of my top tips, because, you're here for a good proportion of the year and it is going to be your life. It's not just about studying, it's about a lifestyle as well.
And also it prepares you for the rest of your life. What you do now.
Yeah.
We're thinking about your future career from the moment you arrive, and we're sort of preparing you, and we've got a careers and employability team who are amazing, who help you from day one to get ready for that. But Lincoln's not for everyone. We're really friendly. We're unique. As I said, we're a campus university. We're in the heart of the most amazing city, but it's a relatively small city. It's a beautiful city. As I always say, it's a bit like Middle Earth, a bit like sort of Narnia. It's just gorgeous, but it's not for everyone. What we're trying to do today is give you a sense of what it would feel like to live and study here in Lincoln. But as Emma said earlier, you're very welcome to put your name down to come and do a one-to-one tour and have a walk around and see whether it feels right to you. Somebody asked Philippa whether the points were still possible if Lincoln was their insurance choice.
Yes, is the answer to that. Oh, Emma's gone into darkness.
I know, it keeps happening. Well done, Emma.
So yes, if you've chosen Lincoln as your insurance choice, then yes, the flexible admission still applies to you as well. So it applies to anybody that's received an offer from us, essentially. So whether you choose us as your firm or insurance choice, it still applies.
That's really reassuring to know, I think, as an applicant, because it is quite a unnerving time this year, more than ever.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And, we can see that in the types of questions that we're getting and the types of phone calls we're getting. They're a little bit different to maybe what we've had in the past in terms of how applicants are feeling. So, yes, I think this will hopefully take some pressure off some of our applicants.
What would you tell anyone who is getting ready to join us here in Lincoln this September?
Oh, gosh. Again, I think there's lots of resources that you can tap into on our website. So have a look around, get a feel for what your course is going to offer you when you arrive. Just prepare yourself for moving. Start thinking about what sort of things you want to take with you. I think it was alluded to in the accommodation section. I think the lady there said that, she took far too much stuff with her, and I think I was the same when I went to university, and then you just have no room for it whatsoever. So I think just prepare yourself for, the move and the change and how that's going to be for you. But also try and, I think, in terms of the summer and thinking about when you're getting your results as well, just try and hopefully relax a little bit and try and once you've completed your studies, which is hopefully coming to a close soon, you can kind of try and relax a little bit and just wait for those results to come in the summer.
Philippa, thank you so much for your time today. We're going to say goodbye to Philippa. So I'll ask Darren to take Philippa away and to leave Emma and I for a moment. Thank you. And in answer to Peter Berkeley, flexible admissions does guarantee you a place if your predicted offer matches your offer, so long as it's not a nursing or medicine course. So Emma, I'm really lucky. I work with the best people in the world, including you. You're one of my favorites, in one of the most amazing cities in the world, which is the most beautiful place in the world. Emma, you're an expert. You've done this for a long time at Lincoln. What advice would you give to anyone thinking about coming to Lincoln to study at the university this September?
Keep your options open. So my advice is, excuse me, is basically, really sort of come with an open mind. Lincoln has an awful lot to offer. We have amazing academics, subjects, sessions that are about to start in sort of 5 minutes. Go and explore, but ask, what we love about Lincoln is that we are a university of opportunity and give opportunities to everybody. So no matter where you're coming from in the world, in the country, from which school or college you've come from, there is something for you here at Lincoln. And no matter which society or subject that you do, there is a niche for you here. So just come with a very open mind, and let this be the start, really, I would say. That's a bit of my advice, but I've got all sorts.
No, that's brilliant. It's come and join our community and get ready to start your next adventure here in Lincoln. And on that, I'm going to invite Darren and Marvin in. Darren and Marvin, hello, are you there? I'm sorry, we're running late. Hi, guys. We're going to say goodbye, and we're going to hand over to Darren and Marvin for the young person's alumni takeover. Goodbye from me.
And from me. Thank you ever so much.
Bye. So, Marvin, let's firstly introduce ourselves again. So my name's Darren. I studied film and TV and graduated in 2014. Absolutely loved my experience at university. So always wanted to come back, and now I work here doing exciting things like this. So tell us about yourself, Marvin, and your experience of university.
I studied business and management, and I graduated in 2018. The experience was unbelievable, and even the opportunities afterwards. I mean, you're hard pressed to get rid of me. But yeah.
Cool, thank you. And I think one thing I want to make clear is just that we're all in the same boat, aren't we? Like in this period where you're going to university, you've applied or maybe thinking about applying. Like this stage of sort of the cycle where you're at, you are going to be nervous. You're going to have a bit of nerves. You're going to be excited. I know I certainly was. I was really nervous but excited at the same time. It was very weird. But all applicants and students are all in the same boat. So tell us about your experience of that, Marvin, because for me, for myself, like I said, I was just eager to get there. Nervous, but I had all sorts of things to sort of plan and prepare, and we'll talk about those in a while.
So sorry.
I was just saying, yeah. You tell us about your experience of like, what were you like when you were getting prepared for university?
So I'm from down south, Essex. So when I came up, I moved 180 miles, and then my parents left me, and I was like, "What are you thinking?" Really, as they left me at the gates. And when I say that, as I was about to move it and live with people I'd never met before, for the first time, I was, as like you said, as nervous as can be. And then I was just adopted into a family I still have, really. And they were honestly, when I say we made friends for life, it was it was brilliant. And I did really, really, we went through everything together. We experienced so much throughout uni together. And yeah, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant, cool. What I will do is just remind everyone that subject sessions are starting very soon. So I'm just going to paste a link into the chat on Facebook and YouTube. So if you just head through to that link, you'll find your subject sessions. And just a reminder for the parents, the parents talk will be starting in about 5-10 minutes, and that will be with Gareth. So we'll see him soon. But one thing I think is really important, Marvin, is how you make friends between now and actually arriving to university, because it's such an important thing. It can help you put your mind at ease when going to university because you'll know someone there. We've got a few initiatives that we can sort of help you with, but what would your advice be on that, Marvin?
I would say, and I think this is one of those cheesy lines that I think has been repeated, but be as open-minded as you can be. It doesn't matter what type of person you are, you will meet everything under the sun. I have met some brilliant people, some really some people who have introduced me to all sorts and even changed my cooking forever.
Yeah, and I think one thing I wanted to discuss with you, Marvin, is Friends for Life, and what it is, because some applicants will have heard about it. It's something that we run in our department, isn't it? It's and what it is it's a way of us being able to help students connect before they even arrive. And the way it works, and I'll try and throw the link up so people can find it. But what it is, it's just a way of helping students connect before they arrive on social media. And that could be Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. And what you do is you sign up to Friends for Life, and we use your interests that you select as you sign up. You also tell us your course when you sign up, and we'll use all that information to try and group people together based on those factors. And we get thousands of subscribers every year, so it's a really good opportunity for you to get to know your future course mates. As we go through the cycle and you learn, where you're going to be staying, we then help to we create official Facebook groups for those accommodations, and that's where you can go and meet your flatmates and your accommodation mates, maybe your future besties as well. But how useful would that have been to like us, Marvin, when we were studying? How useful would that be to sort of have those groups set up and ready?
No, it would have been so, honestly, it would have been so good, because it's so nerve-wracking meeting everyone across. And like, you meet tons of people in all sorts of scenarios, and it's really brilliant. But just to have that extra, just bit of help of meeting and the space to be able to find people in my course, in separate in all sorts of areas, it would have been a game changer.
Completely agree. There's the link below if you wanted to look into Friends for Life a little bit more and discover what you can do. And just as a reminder, actually, everyone at the beginning who wrote their course that they've applied for in the comment section, please keep looking at that, because chances are you'll find someone else who's applied for the same course. In fact, you probably will. So have another look at the end of this chat, and there you go. You can start making friends already with your future course mates.
Absolutely. And also just to be able to find people in, there's a number of ways of finding people in your flat, and this is just one extra way to, before you get there.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Well, actually, I just answered some of these. So some people are asking if there's one for drama and theatre studies, is there one for M-Farm, is there one for technical theatre? There'll be one for every school. So once you sign up to Friends for Life, we'll make sure that they're available to you, and they're available on our applicants pages as well, our official applicants social media pages for those starting in 2021, and eventually we'll do it for 2022 as well. But yeah, there's one for every school, so please sign up to Friends for Life and you will learn more about that. But it sounds like, Marv, I got along well with my flatmates. Sounds like you totally did. And I guess if you're thinking about going to university now, you want to be prepared in like, how do I make friends once I'm actually there? So what would your advice be, Marv? Because it sounds like you did a lot of stuff with your flatmates, a lot of flat meals and things.
Oh yeah, no. I want to say we learned how to do fajita nights the right way, and even now, still I still see them. I graduated in 2018, and some of my friends from first year are still with me through everything, and they've become family, which is something that is one luck, but also it's amazing, and it's something that I would tell everyone they need to experience, because they really they adopted me, and it was brilliant. But the one thing that was also great is not just with my flat, but I met a number of friends through societies, and there was a number. When I say that there was a number of societies, anything from Harry Potter to the rowing society.
That was me. Yes, head of Gryffindor. That was me for a short while.
Absolutely. And honestly, the amount of different things available was amazing. And yeah, what societies did you kind of
Well,
join?
I joined the Harry Potter Society for a little bit, and honestly, it was so useful to be able to meet new people, because there tend to be a lot of members in the societies, and they're all there for a similar reason, because they have a shared interest. And what better to bond with other people over a shared interest, shared passion. Did you join any, Marvin, when you were at university?
So I had the pleasure of joining, because the campus is also full of diversity. There was the Afro-Caribbean Society that I got to join, and they had a few events where there was food available, and I was the first one there with a plate, and and it was brilliant, because I got to meet so many people all over, and yeah, like I said, if there's something that wasn't there, people made the society themselves as they wanted to, which is brilliant.
Absolutely, totally agree. One thing, well, a couple of things I think I should mention now is, if you're a little bit more nervous than excited about going to university, please do bear in mind our amazing wellbeing team and student support team. I know the SU have some student support there as well, and the university does. But if you are worried about that, you can get in touch with them now. I think Emma also talks about the WOW Summer School as well, which you can join. I'll just put a link up shortly on screen to advertise that, because again, that is a really good thing, because you can sort of meet people that you might be studying with or might be sharing a flat with, or at least just get to know the campus and the staff, so that it's a bit more familiar to you. So definitely bear those in mind. I will put the link up very shortly. And also, if you wanted to speak to academics as well, again, to sort of put your mind at ease, ask any questions you want to ask, then head over to the Virtual Open Day page and look for those academic callbacks, or just get in touch with us at inquiries at lincoln.ac. I will find that link actually in case I get that wrong. There it is. If you just contact down there, we can help put you in touch with academics if you really want to get in touch and ask any questions. But finally, because I know we need to head over to Gareth very soon, I do want to ask you, Marvin, what should people be thinking about now? What should be on their shopping list to bring to university, do you think?
Bring a game you can play with friends. Bring a cookbook that's stable and easy to make foods, because you're going to wake up with 20 minutes to spare. And I think the cheesiest one of all, bring an open mind. And really come in and delve into all of it, because there was just so much for you to enjoy. That'd be mine. That'd be what I'd tell.
Totally agree. Yeah. While you're waiting, while you're sort of probably getting more excited day by day, I would definitely recommend head over to our social channels, especially our Instagram and YouTube. There's lots of content there, lots of videos to inform you, put your mind at ease, and just show you what the campus looks like. I think it's a really important thing. Do your research, because when I saw the campus for the first time, I fell in love. So definitely try and do as much research as you can and see the campus. But in terms of bringing things, contact the accommodation team if you need to, if you're not sure whether you need to bring a toasty maker or a kettle or something like that. But as Marvin said, board games are a great idea, because it's a nice icebreaker that you can do with your flatmates. So finally for me, I just want to remind people that we do have a live lounge, a very special live lounge next week, and that is with Jon Snow, who is the Channel 4 journalist, and that, I believe, is at 4:30 that is kicking off. And he's going to be talking about his experiences, and he's going to be talking about any tips and advice for not just journalism students, but I guess for students in general. So if you're interested in that really exciting talk, just head over to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, or our website. Information will be there. So definitely check that out. Any final sort of words from you, Marvin, in terms of tips, advice for students at the moment?
I'd say we look forward to seeing you. And do make sure that you are, as you said, prepared. The more preparation you've got, the better, because as I said, my parents quite literally drove off into the distance and left me to it. So that's, you should be expecting to really take up
Brilliant.
everything.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you very much, Marvin. So what we'll do now is we will introduce Gareth, ready for his parents' talk. Hi, Gareth. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Really nice to see everybody today, and beautiful weather outside. I'm sure everybody wants to be outside as soon as possible. So let's crack on, guys.
Completely agree. Thank you, Gareth. Just remind everyone that those who did post the course that they've applied for in the comment section, please look back at the others, because you will find others that they might be your future course mates. So definitely do that. Right, we'll leave you to it, Gareth. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your talk, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
So, as Emma said, I've been here 20 odd years, and hand on heart, the university is a very, very different place to what it was when I first started here. Certainly every single year I've been here, either a building has been started or completed. So the university was a lot smaller. The number of students we had was a lot smaller as well. So I've seen an awful lot of development of the university, but also higher education as well. So today I'm going to talk to you about the important things your child needs to consider, really, between submitting their UCAS application and starting university, and how you can help. So if there's parents of first year students out looking to apply in September 2021 out there, then this is going to be really much about what's going to happen next year. So it's very much looking at their next steps. Some of what I will talk to you about will reinforce what others have already said, and some will be new to you. So your son or daughter has applied. What happens next? What important things do they need to be thinking about between now and the start of university? So I'm going to be covering areas like their offers, firm and insurance choice selection, student finance, additional financial help, accommodation, budgeting, and top tips. So let's have a look in more detail. So if we look at their choices to start with the decisions that they get back from their universities, if they haven't already done so, get them to double check as they come in to make sure that they fully understand them. If it's an offer, ideally it should be conditional. Do they think they're going to meet the conditions of the offer set by that institution? A small minority might be unconditional, where they are accepted regardless of their grades, as some universities are still offering those. We at Lincoln, though, make conditional offers. If they don't understand the decision, get them to call or email the university in question for clarification, particularly if it's a reject. A reject could be as simple as a missed qualification on their application, which can be rectified very, very easily, but the university will tell them why they were rejected. So just get them to check, really. Once your child then gets all their offers or decisions back from the universities they've applied to, they will be required by UCAS to choose a firm and insurance choice. This is assuming they've applied for 2 or more courses. If they've only applied for 1, it automatically becomes their firm choice regardless. So firm essentially is the university your child will go to if they meet the entry requirements on results day. Insurance is the backup, the one on results day. If they don't meet the requirements of their firm choice, it will then drop to the insurance choice for them to consider. If the conditions are met for the insurance, it becomes their firm choice on results day. Hope that makes sense. Ideally, get them to think about that insurance choice, as it's preferential if possible, and it's not always possible, for it to have lower entry requirements. Otherwise, the insurance choice may equally reject because they're looking for the same entry criteria as their firm, and your child would then be put into clearing. And just to reinforce what Philippa said, from admissions earlier, if you here at Lincoln, we put students at the heart of all we do. And in response to the challenges students are currently facing, we have introduced the flexible admissions process. It's like a safety net, really, wrapped around their offer this year. This means we'll consider your child's best work to ensure, really, that they are being fair and to take into account of the impact of the pandemic and what that's had on their outcome and learning. Therefore, when confirming a place at the University of Lincoln, we will take a flexible approach across the majority of programmes. Yes, Philippa did mention, and it has been brought up as well, NHS-related areas, so paramedics, nursing, midwifery, and our medicine degree will not be considered in this. Equally, neither will pharmacy. Other than that, all other programmes will be. All the students we make offers to are those as well that we feel would be an asset to our community here, and we want to reduce the concerns amongst them and you, their families, about the impact of the pandemic on their future. So, when we receive confirmation of your child's results, we will consider both their actual and predicted grades, alongside their personal statement and reference. We guarantee their place, as Philippa said, if meeting either of the following conditions. Their confirmed grades or predicted grades are no more than 16 UCAS points below the conditions of the offer. So there may still be subject requirements to meet, though, bear that in mind. So if they've applied for more than 2 courses, after choosing firm and insurance, the rest are rejected by UCAS on the student's behalf. Students do need to keep a check on UCAS track on a regular basis. It's there that they will be informed of the date that they need to make that firm and insurance choice. Miss that date, and UCAS will reject them by default across all their courses and offers that they've got. If this does happen, and it does surprising how many times it does happen, it isn't the end of the world. Their firm and insurance choice of institutions will reinstate them, but it is very stressful for the student and likely therefore to be very, very stressful for you as parents too. And it's also more work for the university. So get them to keep an eye on UCAS track. UCAS track tells them everything to do with their offers. Student finance is also probably the second most important thing your child will need to do to go to university. The application cycle has opened, so get them to start applying if they haven't already done so. They don't need to wait for their firm choice. Get them to start applying straight away. The loans are essentially 2 separate pots of money, but students apply for them both at the same time. You need to push them to apply as quickly as possible, as I've said, because Student Finance England set a deadline. This year, that deadline is the 22nd of May. If students meet the deadline with all the information that Student Finance England need, it guarantees to have their funding in place for when they start. Why do I keep pushing this? Last year, Student Finance England have told us that 50% of the students left it until after the May deadline had passed before starting their application. Some were still waiting for it in November of 2020. You do not want your son or daughter to be in that situation. So pot 1 is the tuition fee loan. It's the easiest to understand. It's not means tested. So your son or daughter would get what they asked for, up to a maximum of £9,250. And it's paid directly to the institution by Student Finance England on their behalf as well. So it takes the stress out of having a huge pot of money in my bank. What do I do with it? How do I pay the university, my tuition fees, etc.? Student Finance England pay it on their behalf. However, although it's called a tuition fee loan, it doesn't just pay for somebody to teach them. It pays for the teaching facilities they use and all other learning resources on campus that they have access to. So it's much more than a tuition fee loan. Personally, as well, I would always apply for the maximum amount of tuition fee, simply because of the way the loans are repaid. It's like no other loan system. The amount your child repays is not based on the amount they've borrowed, but on how much they earn. So as of the 6th of April this year, for example, somebody who is already earning £30,000 a year would be paying back just £20.74 a month off their combined loans. So to be in a situation that they've gone to university, got the maximum amount of money for them, and only paying back £20 a month to be earning £30,000, I think is worth it. Pot 2 then is the maintenance loan, and pot 2 pays towards everything else: rent, food, bills, social life and transport, things like that. This time it is means tested though, so the amount a student gets is dependent on where they are studying, where they're living while they're studying, and most importantly, the household income of the home they currently live in. There is a guaranteed minimum amount though that every student gets regardless of household income. Above that though, the means testing comes into effect. So whatever their circumstances, a student is guaranteed to get something. So what are the figures this year? The maximum award varies from £7,987 for somebody living at home and travelling on a daily basis to £12,382 for living away from home but studying in London. And these are dependent on, as I've said, where they study, while they live while they're studying, and they must have a household assessed income of £25,000 or less. And you are potentially the breadwinners that will supply that information. The minimum amount varies as well. Minimum amount is just under 50% of the maximum in each case. So for living at home and travelling on a daily basis, it's 3,516, and it rises to, again, living in London, but living away from home to £6,166. However, this time, the household assessed income isn't constant like it is to get the maximum amount. So if you're living at home and travelling on a daily basis, to get just the minimum of 3,516, you have to have a household assessed income of over £58,220. And that rises to get that bare minimum of £6,166 if your son and daughter was living and studying in London, to just over £70,000. It's paid into their bank account as well in 3 equal instalments, so they can use the money as they see fit. Likewise, mentioning bank accounts, your child might have a bank account already, but I would advise them to look to open a student bank account as well, as normally those student bank accounts offer great overdraft facilities, better interest rates on those repayments, and incentives to join. So if they already have a bank account with a particular bank, see what they're offering, but see what else other people are offering. Regardless of whether they change to a student bank account or want to open a student bank account or not, they will need a bank account of some description to apply for student finance. So what about that additional help that's out there for them? It can come from a variety of sources, including Student Finance England, universities, and other organisations. Student Finance England in particular have grants to help those with a disability, childcare needs, dependent adults, and students who have an overseas placement as part of their course. So if you are coming to us and you have a son, or your son or daughter is, and you're looking to study abroad for a year, then you can apply for a maintenance loan to help you with your living costs while studying abroad. And more information about that can be found on the gov.uk student finance site. Equally, all universities will support students through scholarships and bursaries, so check what's being offered. Here at the University of Lincoln, we have a wide range of scholarships and bursaries, including 4 new scholarships, each worth £5,000. These are to help cover living costs as students continue their education. So for budding scientists, one scholarship will be awarded to a new student on computer science, and another to a new student studying either biology or zoology. To help as well facilitate higher education for mature students, one scholarship will be awarded for students aged over 21, studying either English or history, while the final award goes to a mature student over 21 when they join us, studying either psychology or law. All these new scholarships have been supported through a donation by the university's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mary Stewart, CBE, and more details can be found on our website, lincoln.ac.uk. As an example of other scholarships and bursaries available, there's also the NHS bursary for nursing, midwifery and allied health professions, including paramedics, and that's worth £5,000 a year minimum. It could, for some students, give them an additional £3,000 on top. But that would be calculated when they apply for the 5,000, and they're guaranteed to get that. So when looking for additional support financially, wherever it may be, your child needs to check the application process. When and how do they apply, or even do they need to apply? It varies on what they're looking for, so make sure that they're looking in plenty of time. The best bit about all the additional help, except for the student studying abroad maintenance loan, is they're going to get it for nothing, because basically they don't have to repay it. Accommodation as well is another important factor, as we've looked at already. If your child is looking to move away from home, their accommodation is something else that should be high on their and your priority list. Again, it needs to be done sooner than later, as most universities allocate on a first-come, first-served basis. Get your child to start looking at options for their institutions they've applied to, or if they're pretty sure of firm insurance, looking at those as a minimum. The application cycle for accommodation varies from university to university and can be quite competitive on the amount of accommodation the university has to offer. At Lincoln, we have an awful lot to offer, but some universities, it can be quite minimal. And options around the UK include self-catered halls, half board, full board even, ensuite, or even shared housing. Here at Lincoln, we currently offer self-catered halls for students, with the vast majority being ensuite, and all, as had been stated previously, are within easy walking distance of the campus. Whether they can also apply for accommodation may be also determined on the basis of making that university their firmer insurance choice. It certainly is here at Lincoln. So when they do make that choice, get your child to think about applying for accommodation at those universities straight away, or at least check when they can. So knowing exactly when a student, where a student will live while at university is important, not just for them, but for you, their families too. At Lincoln, we know that finding the right place to live is an essential part of your child's student experience. So we aim to help all our new students find their home from home. So as Vicky said earlier in the accommodation talk, this is why we make a guarantee for new undergraduates joining us at the university this coming autumn. We guarantee a room in a university residence to all new students who have applied for accommodation with us by the 1st of September. So they don't need to worry about finding a suitable room elsewhere, as all our university managed accommodation is also covered by our residential warden scheme. Allocation of accommodation is not normally done by universities until results day. It does differ from university to university though. So it may be some time before your child applies and hears from their chosen university, other than to confirm that their application is received. This is normal, so they and you don't need to panic. So all I've talked about so far really is important for them and you. So your son or daughter may benefit, and for you that matter, by making a to-do list or post-it notes or anything that will give them a priority list of important things which can be crossed off as they are done. Budgeting as well is really an important aspect of students moving to university, because the vast majority of students, when they attend university, will only have a finite pot of money to live off. Before your child comes to us or goes wherever they want to go to university, it's worth spending time with them, working out how much they're going to spend a week or a month on rent, other bills, transport, food, social life, etc. Getting them to think about that budgeting. This is what the maintenance loan is there to help with specifically. And if they're not sure what they're likely to get from the loan, they can get a rough estimate using a student finance calculator. The Gov.uk, Student Finance England, and Martin Lewis, a money-saving expert financial sites, also all have one that they can use to check. Get them to plan as well, doing things like a food shop. It's just something that they're going to have to do when they get here, particularly if they're moving into self-catered halls, and get them to really understand what it is to plan and to spend that money. So having done that dry budgeting run, then if there's likely to be a shortfall between what they get and what they are potentially looking to spend, how can they improve this to bring the odds back in their favour? Bank of mum and dad is one option, but certainly not open to all. A part-time job is another, and there are normally plenty of opportunities to get jobs once they've started university, and certainly that Lincoln is no exception. Or if they have one, they could potentially transfer. Lots of big companies allow this, and teaching is normally flexible enough to allow students to have a job too. Become part of the university's student ambassador scheme is also a good thing for students to consider. Day assisters with open days, on-campus visits, mail shops, external events, and much more. And had this been a physical event, you would have seen a lot of our student ambassadors guiding people, showing people around, and talking to people as they're coming round. It's paid certainly in one form or another, and at Lincoln certainly is paid in cash. And it's also great for their CV, confidence, and independence building. The final one for them to consider is discounts. An NUS or recognised student card will get discounts wherever they go, be it retail, cinema, restaurants, and more. It saves them money wherever they go. Travelling by train a lot, if they're going to travel by train, even if it's to go back once or twice to see you during a term, get them to consider a student rail card. 33% off. It can pay for itself in just one journey. And just get them to check and remember those additional funding opportunities too that I've already talked about. Lots of ways they could potentially get extra money. Some of the top tips really are planning the next steps, as we've looked at, is key for your child in the run-up to the start of university. As there are so many deadlines that they need to hit, and there will be consequences if they don't hit them. Applying for finance, that potential additional support, firm and insurance choices, and accommodations are the ones that they and you really need to be aware of in particular. And as I said, those to-do lists, priority lists, post-it notes, whatever it might be, are a great way of planning and reminding them and you of what needs to be done and when it's coming up. Get them to keep a regular eye on UCAS track, because it tells them all that they need to know about the progress of their application and what they need to do next. And budgeting is an essential skill that they need to learn and learn quickly. So you can help and advise if you think they need it. Not everybody needs that budgeting skill, but some maybe do. If they have that part-time job, is there a possibility they can transfer locations? And certainly fast food chains like McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, people like that, and large retail shops, Marks and Spencer's, supermarkets, are all happy normally for students to do this, but they need to check in plenty of time. Also, your child and you really should never be afraid to ask questions at any time, no matter how silly or trivial you may think it is, or them for that matter. There are so many ways to do it as well nowadays. Here at Lincoln, they can ask through our social media channels, live link-ups that we hold on a regular basis, emailers, phoners, through our UniBuddy scheme where they can talk direct to a student, and even good old-fashioned post. Occasionally, we still get letters in the post. Whichever way, we'll endeavour to answer your questions as quickly as possible. Talking of social media, as Darren and Marvin have said, get them to consider joining Friends for Life, but equally, you consider potentially joining our parents' Facebook group. You might find it useful information. Another thing to consider as they come towards getting much closer to university is just like us here at Lincoln and many other universities, we have a GP surgery on campus. It would be ideal for your child to transfer surgeries from their local one to one here where when they start their course, just so if they need to access a doctor quickly, they can do so without thinking, actually, I've got a 2-hour journey or however far they've got to go back to home. Conversely, though, keep their own dentist, because although we have emergency dental practices within the city, we don't have the same sort of facility, and it would be the same for most universities as well. And finally, more than anything, your support, guidance and interest in the run-up to university is essential to help your child and you have a smooth transition into university life. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this information helpful and useful to understand. And we look forward to your son or daughter joining us in the near future. At this point, normally, if I'd been doing this live in a lecture theatre, I would be saying, safe journey home, but you're already home. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it really, really useful, and we look forward to seeing you and them in the future.